Good morning, everybody. Well, I don't know. I don't think it's morning anymore. um, my son requested chicken and dumplings, even though he won't be around to eat them. And I decided, you know, I've heard tell that my daughter makes the best chicken and dumplings there is. Although she's never fixed me any. Um, so I decided to do some chicken and dumplings today, especially for new cooks. Cooks are a little afraid of doing these old-fashioned recipes that have tricks to them. And really, chicken and dumplings don't have that many tricks. There is 2 or 3 different kinds of chicken and dumplings you can make. Now, I took a chicken last night and I slow cooked it in the crock pot all night. And as you can see, let me kind of turn you down here. There's the chicken. I put some seasonings and stuff on it. I have it tore apart. I also cooked some, let me take you over here. Cooked some chicken thighs. And that cooker is, the lid is very, very hot. So what I plan on doing right now, I've also done a couple other things pre-done because I know people just don't want to watch a long video of me getting everything out and doing all these things. I took some self-rising flour and some plain flour. Let's see what else. It's got another name. All-purpose flour. And mixed it together. And I rolled out some dumplings. Now, just so you know, I've never rolled out dumplings. What I used to use when I was a new cook was Bisquick. And I followed their recipe on the back of the Bisquick box. And that's how I made my chicken and dumplings, and I don't think anybody ever complained about them. But I've also made them with flour and buttermilk or milk or water, you know. And so that's what I've done right here, is I fixed up some flour, put a little bit of grease in it, Crisco, and some buttermilk. Now, I'm going to try and show you both ways. And I've actually already tasted both ways. I'm from Kentucky. I don't think I've ever eaten anywhere where they had a flat dumpling. But now Brenda Gant, she makes hers very thin. And I'm going to try that. And I have tried 1 or 2. And to me, they were chewy. Now, some people like chewy dumplings. I don't. I like nice, fluffy, round dumplings. Now, here's what I would advise for a new cook. Start with the easiest way. Take some flour, buttermilk, water, or milk. Mix it together to this kind of consistency. Okay? It's thinner than dough mix. Thicker than pancake mix. And what I'm going to do now is turn you around here to my stove. Now, my kitchen is a mess today. I do believe I've got a bipolar husband. Maybe someday we'll talk about that. But he watches these videos, so, or, you know. Yesterday he was in a mood. So, long story short, I didn't get much done yesterday on my eBay or my I'm trying to resand my island, trying to do some spring cleaning. And then, of course, I have on my eBay to do. Now, what I did over here, again, and I'm going to point you toward it and do the best I can. Let me get me a pot holder. I'm going to take the lid off this. This is cooked down quite a bit. And I'm going to use a spoon with a drain in it. Now, I put about a half a stick of butter in here, a half a teaspoon of Better Than Bouillon, some salt in here, and as you can see, my meat is just totally falling apart. Now, I always used to make it with chicken breasts, and I do have some chicken breasts, but I always have been told that the best broth comes from the thigh meat. So, back here I've got another little cooker. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to put some chicken broth in it. And bring it to a boil. I'm going to taste of this. Very rich. Come on. I can't do that. That's too hot. If you can see here, I'm just taking a spoonful and putting over here. Now, that doesn't leave much liquid in here, so I'm going to add some water. You don't want to put too much water, because then you'll ruin the taste of your broth. So, give me another spoon. Perfect for me. Now, I like pepper in mine, so I put pretty good lot of pepper. And you want to bring this back up to a good rolling boil. And this one too. While that's waiting, I'll tell you a funny story. Well, it wasn't so funny when it happened, I'll tell you. I have this, it's a Pampered Chef rubber trivet. And it's gray, the color of my stove. And then I have this trivet, which is cast iron. It's my favorite. For some reason, I had that rubber trivet with the cast iron trivet over it on this burner, this front burner. And that's my favorite burner. I don't know why, but it is. It's just more consistent with the heat. Let me see what I did with my lid. That'll bring it to a boil faster. And let me see if I can find another little lid to go back here. And I don't know what I was cooking, but I put it back there where this tea kettle is. And I do love my tea kettle. This is not only a tea kettle, This is a percolator, and I do love it. Now, I have another percolator that if I had to take camping or anything, but that one is so old, I just like it for decoration. And I have made coffee in it, and oh, it's so good. But I almost listed that on eBay, but I didn't. So my waters are coming to a boil. Now, first off, I'm going to turn you back around here to this. This one that I rolled out. Now, to me, these are tough dumplings. This is a little bit of self-rising and a little bit of all-purpose. And like I said, I've done tried one of them, put it in my cooker, and I just really didn't care for it. This is not the way my mommy actually made dumplings out of canned biscuits, best I remember. And like I told you all, my mommy didn't teach me a whole lot of cooking. She just didn't like us to be bothering her in the kitchen, and I'm kind of one of them same people. But also, I think she was afraid we had such a small kitchen, she was afraid we'd get burned up in there. So, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in this little cooker. Now, after you get your dumplings in there, you don't want to stir them too much. They'll fall apart. So, whoops. So right there, you can see what I got going on back there, okay? Now, I already put some pepper in them, and we'll bring them back up to a little bit more of a boil. But we have to keep a close eye on them. Dumplings will stick very, very fast. And this water is boiling too fast, of course. So, with this one, what I do is I take a spoon. Can you all see? I take a spoon and I get a small amount of dough on here. And I drop it in there. And I just keep repeating that process. You don't want to get too much dough on it. They become biscuits. It is kind of tedious. You do want to keep your water kind of boiling. But you know, you can use 3 or 4 legs and make your chicken broth out of it. You can make it out of a whole chicken. You can make it out of a few chicken thighs. The way the prices are nowadays, let me check on these. Okay, I'll turn them down a little bit more. The way the prices are nowadays, you know, you take 3 or 4 chicken legs, what's that going to cost you? A couple dollars? $3? Or even, now those right there was $4. And they made pretty much their own broth. And you put some salt and pepper. Most people has that. and flour and milk or water. I've seen them made out of water. Now, I have seen people put garlic in chicken and dumplings. Well, I've seen quite a few people put garlic in everything. And I like garlic. I grow a lot of garlic. But there's some foods like soup beans, and to me, and to our culture here, you just don't put garlic in soup beans and chicken and dumplings. I'm gonna leave the lid off that. And then you just keep it on. Try to find empty spots so that your dumpling can get in liquid. I like to make cornbread with it, and I like my dumplings a little soupy, if you know what I mean, so that I have something to soak my cornbread up in. Could you all see all that? Now this is what this is looking like. Whoops.